Psalms 119. Your word is a lamp to my feet. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the laws of the Ishi. Blessed are they who search his testimonies, that seek him with their whole heart. For they that work iniquity have not walked in his way. Thou hast commanded thy commandments to be kept most diligently. Oh, that my way may be directed to keep thy justifications. When shall I be confounded? When I shall look into all thy commandments? I will praise thee with the uprightness of heart. When I shall have learned the judgments of thy justice, I will keep thy justifications. O do not thou utterly forsake me. By what both a young man correct his way? By observing thy words. With my whole heart I have sought after thee. Let me not stray from thy commandments. Thy words have I hidden in my heart, that I may not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Ishi. Teach me thy justifications. With my lips I have pronounced all the judgments of thy mouth. I have been delighted in the way of thy testimonies, as in all riches. I will meditate on thy commandments, and I will consider thy ways. I will think of thy justifications. I will not forget thy words. Give bountifully to thy servant, enliven me, and I shall keep thy words. Let's see. Open thou. Oh man, hold on. Open thou my eyes, and I will consider the wondrous things of thy law. I am a sojourner on the earth. Hide not thou commandments from me. My soul hath coveted too long for thy justification at all times. Thou hast rebuked the proud, they are cursed, who decline from thy commandments. Remove the reproach and contempt, because I have sought after thy testimonies. For prince sat and spoke against me, but thy servant was employed in thy justifications. For thy testimonies are my meditation, and thy justifications my counsel. My soul hath cleaved to the pavement. Quicken thou me according to thy word. I have declared my ways. I have declared my ways, and thou hast heard me. Teach me thy justifications. Make me to understand the way of thy justifications, and I shall be exercised in thy wondrous works. My soul hath slumbered through heaviness. Strengthen thou me in thy word. Let's see here. Remove from me the way of iniquity, and out of thy law have mercy on me. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments I have not forgotten. I will sorry, I said that wrong. I have stuck to thy testimonies, O Ishi. Put me not to shame. I have ran the way of thy commandments when thou didst enlarge my heart. Set before me for a law the way of thy justifications, O Ishi, and I will always seek after it. Give me understanding, and I will search thy law, and I will keep it with my whole heart. Lead me into the path of thy commandments, for this same I have desired. Incline my heart into thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away my eyes that they may not behold vanity. Quicken me in thy way. Establish thy word to thy servant, in thy end in thy fear. Turn away my reproach, which I have apprehended, for thy judgments are delightful. Yeah. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy justice. Let thy mercy also come upon me, O Ishi, thy salvation according to thy word. So shall I answer so shall I answer them that approach me in anything, that I have trusted in thy words. And take not thou oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm being tired. And take not thou the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for in thy words have I hoped exceedingly. So shall I always keep thy law forever and ever. And I walked at large, because I have sought after thy commandments. And I spoke of thy testimonies before kings, and I was not ashamed. I meditate also on thy commandments, which I loved. And I lifted up my hands to thy commandments, which I loved, and I was exercised in thy justifications. Be thou mindful of thy word to thy servant, in which thou hast given me hope. This hath conformed me in my humiliation. Because thy word hath enlivened me. The proud did iniquitous altogether, but I declined not from thy law. I remembered, O Ishi, thou judgments of old, and I was comforted. There we go. A fainting hath taken hold of me because of the wicked that forsook thy law. Thy justifications were the subject of my song, in the place of my pilgrimage. In the night I have remembered thy name, O Ishi, and have kept thy law. This happened to me because I sought after thy justifications. O Ishi, my portion, I have said I would keep the law. I entreated thy face with all my heart. Have mercy on me according to thy word. I have thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I am ready and am not troubled, that I may keep thy commandments. The cords of the wicked have encompassed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. I rose at midnight to give praise to thee for the judgments of thy justification. I am a partaker with all them that fear thee, and that keep thy commandments. The earth, O Ishi, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy justifications. Thou hast done well with thy servant, O Ishi, according to thy word. Teach me goodness, and there it is, discipline and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Before I was humbled, I offered, therefore have I kept thy word. Well, I don't know why I'm stumbling bad here. Thou art good, and in thy goodness teach me thy justifications. The iniquity of the proud hath been multiplied over me, but I will seek thy commandments with my whole heart. Thou art, my whole heart. Their heart is curdled like milk, but I have meditated on thy law. It is good for me that thou hast humbled me, that I may learn thy justifications. The law of thy mouth is good to me, above thousands of gold and silver. Thy hands have made me and formed me. Give me understanding, and I will learn thy commandments. They that fear thee shall see me, and shall be glad, because I have greatly hoped in thy words. I know, O Ishi, that thy judgments are equity, and in thy truth thou hast humbled me. O let thy mercy be for me. Let thy mercy be for my comfort, according to thy word, unto thy servant. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, and I shall live. For thy law is my meditation. Let the proud be ashamed, because they have done unjustly towards me, but I will be employed in thy commandments. Let them that fear thee turn to me, and know that and they that know thy testimony. Let my heart be why am I still? Let my heart be undefiled in thy justifications, that I may not be confounded. My soul hath fainted after thy salvation, and in thy word I have very, very much hoped. My eyes have failed for thy word, saying, when wilt thou comfort me? For I am become like a bottle in the frost. I have not forgotten thy justifications. How many are the days of thy servant, when when wilt thou execute judgment on them that persecute me? The wicked have told me fables, but not as thy law. All thy statutes are true. They have persecuted me unjustly. Do thou help me. Do thou help me. They had almost made an end of me upon the earth, but I have not forsaken thy commandments. Quicken thou me according to thy mercy, and I shall keep the testimonies of thy mouth. Forever, O Ishi, thy word standeth firm in heaven. They trust thy trust. Thy truth unto all generations thou hath founded the earth, and its continueth by thy ordinance. The days goeth on, for all things serve thee. Let's see here. Unless thy law hath been my meditation, I had then perhaps perished in my abjection. Thy justification I will never forget, for by them thou hast given me life. I am thine, save thou me, for I have sought thy justifications. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I have understood thy testimonies. I have seen an end to I have seen an end to all persecution. Thy commandments is exceedingly broad. Oh, sorry, I'm starting to second guess myself. This is so long. Oh, how have I loved thy law, O Ishi. It is my meditation all the day. Thou, through thy commandments, thou hast made me wiser than my enemies. For it is ever for it is ever with me. I have understood more than all my teachers, because thy testimonies are my meditation. I have had understanding above and ancients, because I have sought thy commandments. I have restrained my feet from every evil way, that I may keep thy word. I have not declined from thy judgments, because thou hast set me a law. How sweet are thy words to my palate, more than honey to my mouth. By thy commandments I have heard understanding. Therefore have I hated every way of iniquity. Thy word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I have sworn and am determined to keep the judgment of thy justice. I have been humbled, O Ishi, exceedingly. Quicken thou me according to thy word. The free offerings of my mouth make acceptable, O Ishi, and teach me thy judgments. My soul is continually in my hands. My soul is continually in my hands, and I have not forgotten thy law. Sinners have laid a snare for me, but I have not erred from thy precepts. I have purchased thy testimonies for an inheritance forever, because they are a joy to my heart. I have inclined my heart to do thy justifications forever, for the reward. I have hated the unjust and have loved thy law, that thou art my helper and my protector, and in the word I have greatly hoped. Depart from me, ye malignant, and I will search for the commandments of my Eloha. Uphold me according to thy word, and I shall live, and let me not be confounded by my expectation. Help me, and I shall be saved, and I will meditate always on thy justifications. Thou hast Thou hast despised all them that fall off from thy judgments, for their thought is unjust. Let's see. I have accounted all the sinners of the earth prevaricator. Therefore, I have loved thy testimonies. Pierce thou my flesh with thy fear, for I am afraid of thy judgments. I have done judgment and justice. Give me not up to them that slander me. Uphold thy servant unto good. Let not the proud calumniate me. My eyes have fainted after thy salvation, and for the word of the just. Deal with thy servant according to thy mercy, and teach me thy justifications. I am thy servant. Give me understanding, that I may know thy testimonies. It is time, O Ishi, to do. They have dissipated thy law. Therefore I have loved thy commandments above gold and the topaz. Therefore I was directed to all thy commandments. I have hated all the wicked ways. Thy testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul hath sought them. The declaration of the word giveth light, and giveth understanding to little ones. I opened my mouth and panted, because I longed for thy commandments. Look thou upon me, and have mercy on me, according to the judgment of them that love thy name.